Test, test. Får se om lyden er bra. Quero esse? Você quer? Quero esse. Papai fala pra você. Você quer esse? Porque comer esse dia, tá? Ou se não comer esse dia, fica no lixo. nice. Hmm? Okay, nice. Fica trabalho. Okay. Yes. So we will start in 4 minutes. Just preparing the things now. As it's a Saturday today, we will mostly do binary option trading, but we will also take a look at maybe a couple of cryptocurrency, maybe see if we can find a trade there. We'll just check that everything is in order for us to take this session. Typically I should have taken this session in Friday, but as had power issues here in Sao Paulo, I was not able to go live yesterday. I was live for like 5 minutes and then I lost the power. So it was short-lived. So we will, as always, look at investing.com. If you do not have an account here from before, it's completely free to make. You just make sure that you put up your address. Just wait a little, I need to fix a few more things here. There, okay, then we have it. So like I said, we are going to trade some binary option. Let's log in. Today we will use some martingale because we're going to trade a little more. We're going to be a little more aggressive than normal. As you can't be trading Forex, we need to do a little more trading. Typically, for the ones that follow me, we see that we just get maybe a few trades each hour. To make it more exciting, we will use some martingale today and see how we do. So let's take up here that pay us the most. That's important so we can get out of any trade. We start to martingale many times. I think we can go for this one. This one we will not take because you can see have been trending downwards for a very long time. So it's better we do not take this one. This we like a little more. Let's add the Bollinger Band. And we add, let's see, we will edit this one. Let's take the medium line away and we put these two to white. So let's take a trade right away. I will explain. We start with $5. The reason for this trade, we can see that we got a spike down. We can also add stochastic as we do this now. Stochastic, like that. If we lose, we go in with $10. $10 will cover our $5. We are ready to go in if it's a loser. Let's wait and see. and I will explain more after the reasons behind the trades and everything. So this is more for fun, because we are not able to trade properly, because if you trade properly it will be too boring. I will also show you how we would have traded properly. Let's now change this one to yellow, because you see a little better. Make sure we turn profit if we need to go in again. Let's wait and see. Lose this one, let's say. Then we go in again. So this is basically the power of martingale we are doing now. Then we are a total in with 45. That means we need a 70 on the next. Now we need to bring up the good old calculator. Just so I have a control about how much we need to take the bids. Now let's wait and see. The market is trending. Trending is not good when you trade this way. Then we need to recover 120. Let's see if 200 do the tricks. Yes. So as this did not go so well from the start. That's why the another trading strategy is much better. I will show that after. This is just to show you how crazy also martingale can get. So you need to think about that if you're going to trade manually with martingale. But we are going to turn this to profit. And there we got our first winner. So then if you go back here now, we can put to close it. All this now. We can see that we have 5 plus 10 plus 30 plus 70. So total cost of 115 and we made 122, that means profit. So now I will show you the proper way to trade, because you can see martingale can give you some issues. So a way that you trade this, let's we always need to look to the left, around here. So what we do now, we take a horizontal line in the top here, and we see that might, I think we take it in the bottom. So that here is an area when you see from the past that when we come to this line, we go up. So we need to turn this one to green, because that means we are looking for buy opportunities. The reason we need to go all the way down here, because you see we have a trending Bollinger Band down, and we need to be below, so we need to have a space between the Bollinger Band and our line you see here. So only if you come down to this line, we'll take a call trade. And in the upside, we need to have an area where we are above the upper Bollinger Band. So that means up here. We can clearly see that this is an area where when we come up here, we go down. If you zoom in more, you can see better. You see we come up here, we go down. We go up here, we go down, down. So then we change this one just for better view. We change this one for red. So there is basically, if you're going to trade properly, that's our trading zone. Of course, you can't see the trading zone in the bottom, but you see the one in the top. So if you get a big green bar here now, while this upper bulge band is below our red one here, that means we can easily go with a put trade with a very high probability of a win trade. And we will never martingale doing that way, because basically the win rate is so high that we can trade it without martingale. But if you trade the way I did now, where we just have the strategy that we go out of the bulge band with a big bar, and because I think we started on this one here, and we see we are low in the stochastic, you see that we got actually 1, 2, 3, 4 losses in a row, till we then got our win. So in martingale you can do so, but you should probably have a little bigger account, or you open account with IQ cent, because there you can use cents when you trade, and then it's easier to get out of the trade even with a less balance. Now let's see if there are any questions. Yes, that's the thing, you need a bigger deposit to do this. But keep in mind that this way of trading is risky if you go into martingale. You will not lose one trade, but if you do wrong, you can burn your account. So keep that in mind. So also you can put in your rules that you also only martingale this and this many times, but then you need to keep that in mind also, that if you lose often this many times, once follow me in the sessions from Monday to Friday. Here is the broker I'm using for Forex. You can also trade crypto here. And the other broker is the one I'm using right now that we use for binary option. So now let's see if we can do one more martingale trade. Let's take it from $1. We see that you have a resistance on here, so I think we can go in here. If we lose, we are going to martingale out of the trade. So then let's see. If we lose, we go in with 2, we go in with 3, then we recover. Actually, we recover with, no, we need to recover with 2. The reason for this trade was basically we see that we are in a resistance zone, and we can then just go in with a trade right away, because the probability is actually high to win also. So you see we won this trade. This trade I did basically just pure on support resistant. So you can see that we have, you can turn this green. So we're not following our real rule down here, because here you see the area where we want to do a trade. This is just the area we see now for short term, and then as we're using martingale with a low bid, we can easily take a trade. But of course, as we see the bullish band is below it, that means the market is ready to go more down. So the probability is that we'll break. You see now we are breaking it. It's only because we see the bullish band is telling us that yes, we will break it. And now it's a big chance we can get our big trade down here. If we do that, we are going to take a $100 trade, because that is a first valid trade. But that's what you can see. It also looks like we get in a fake out. Yes, we did close above it. We can also take a look at some cryptocurrency. Let's open Bitcoin. We like to look at Bitcoin. Let's turn off this trade mate. We don't need that. Let's take a look at a higher time frame. That's the nice thing with cryptocurrency. You can trade it every single day of the week. No need to wait from Monday to Friday. So we can see what happened in, let me see now, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. You can see we had a crazy bar down. We thought that we were going to go upwards from here, but we broke below once again. So now we are playing in a zone where I like to collect Bitcoin, because it's a very nice area to collect Bitcoin. Because you can see that we will not go below this region. Of course we get these fake outs, but this is an area where it's very, very good to collect some Bitcoin. So let's take a look at the 4 hour to see how it looks like there. So you can see now that we are forming some type of a stall area, where we basically are not moving that much, but it's a little downwards, as you can see. So I will say right away, when we break this very tiny trend downwards, we can then target the upper area, the yellow line here. So a very nice entry for Bitcoin, I will say, is right when we break this tiny trend line we see down here. Right when we close above it, we go in with a target up to the higher area here. Something like, I think we can take it something like this. And we take our stop loss just right below it. So it'll be a very, very nice trade. We can also be more secure and take a stop loss like this, because we still have enough win. Because the ratio always need to be better than 1.5. So that's a trade we easily take when Bitcoin cross about this trend line we see downwards there, because it's so strict. And as we can see now, if we make a line below here also, we can see that we have a working, we can move this one up a little instead. Let's see if we do that. Let's see. Let's move it up to here. So you can see that finally we will get this at least till, let me see, 19, that means Monday. If this one continue here, we will get a trade very soon. So in a couple of days, latest, we get a trade. Hopefully before. Because this is in a 4-hour chart, that means every single bar you see here is 4 hours. So a very nice long trade we can look for here, as long as we just can break this trend line here. And break it does not mean that we break it and go above it. Break it means that the 4-hour close, so we come with a new bar above this line here. That's when we can say that we have a valid trade. So like I said, this will happen very soon, and hopefully today, so we can take this trade. Will not happen in this session, but at least will happen today. So then let's take a look at some more binary option. We see that we are now currently in resistance zone, so if we break above it, we might go with a long trade. Let's see. Let's zoom in. We can see that if we close there now, we can then go with a long trade. We go in, we are in, then we are basically following the trend upwards. We are using some different type of strategies, but it's fun to mix it up, because when we use martingale, we don't need to think that much. We just need to find rules as we go, because here we see we had a resistance. Typically when you break resistance, he will continue a little upwards before he go down and retest it. So we can see now this will be probably a winning trade also. Let's see. And So this is more, we are just playing a little around now. We are not doing any big trades or nothing. Only if you come up to these regions, then we will zoom in, check everything, and make some decent trades. This one did go in zero, so we don't martingale it. That's completely okay. So then, when we come out of this Bollinger Band, then we will take a put trade with martingale. And like I said, when we start to come close to our interest areas, we can also see if these interest areas have moved a little. I will say so. We can take this one all the way down to here now. So if we come up to the red line here, we are then looking for a big trade. Then I'll change this to 100 and we will take a put trade. But for now, we are martingaling out of these trades. Put trade. Let's wait and see. We want to have a, so we go a little out of the Bollinger Band, then it is a nice martingale trade we can do. Let's wait and see. Like I wanted to see at least up here. Maybe we don't get it. I also told about that it's a big probability that we'll go and retest this area we go out of to get our first, again, martingale trade. We can take a look at Ethereum, because we basically want to go up to this line here. That's when we can go in with the real trades, because that follow our trading strategy. So we are, if you come up to this red line, we're going to take a $100 trade with a put. Till then we are just playing a little with smaller amount with martingale. So let's see here now. Right now looks like we have some type of resistance here, so if you come up to that again, we might take a put trade. So now basically I think we are happy if you come up to the same area we did last time. No. Normally we should always, like I said in the start, we should check investing.com and make account here. But the thing is that in Saturday and Sunday there are typically no news. But from Monday to Friday you really need to check the economic calendar. As, as you see here now, there are no news today. And if you check tomorrow, there are some tiny news, but it's no big news. So this is very little going on in Saturday and Sunday. But next week, you can see there will come a lot of news, like here for Australian dollar, here for dollar, here for Canadian dollar. And you will have a line that show you where you are in the time zone. Of course, we don't see that now because we are now in Saturday. Now let's see if we can get a $1 trade at least. That would be just to have something to do. And we take it there. We are in. I did take the trade. Now just base it on this resistance we see up here last time. If we lose, we go in with $2 and we go in again. And if for some reason we come up to the red line, we go in with $100 because that's our trading zone, basically. So now let's see if we can win this trade or not. As we see this, like I said, I think it's a higher probability we go down and retest this old resistance we have down here. So it looks like we get one more win under our belt. Yes, that was a winner. Now let's take a look if there are any questions. Yes, we will basically do mostly binary option today. I'm just, as we don't have Forex to do as we always do, we are just playing a little with smaller amount till we reach the areas where we actually want to trade. And the areas we want to trade is this green we see down here. Then we take $100 trade, and the red line we see up here will be $100 trade. But in between, when I see fit, I will do some $1 trading just for a little fun, where we use martingale to get out the trade. I can't start with too high numbers with martingale because, as we know, martingale is a little scary, and we should not do that. Now, like I said before, you see this bullish band is now crossing above this area where we did see we had a resistance. So now it's a high probability that we'll go above it. That's why I'm not even going with a $1 trade right now, because the probability is that we'll go up from here. And like I said, we actually want to come up this red line here. Yeah, the red line up here, because then we can go in with the big money. Or, like I said, the green line down here with a call trade. Because this is the area of interest we have. We can go back here to history, because sometimes we need to go to the back to find where the support and resistance are in the current time. So you see we need to go very far back, but typically the same places go over and over again. So here we can see that's the reason for this green line. We see when we come to this one, we hit, we go up, we hit, we go up. So the probability is that when the time comes, we come to this area, the same will happen at least 1 or 2 times before we break it. That's why we are very comfortable by taking a trade on this green line down also. Even though it's very far back in the history we need to go to find it, it still is valid today. So now let's see. So now let's wait and see if we can get a trade in here. So still, these two are valid trades, because you see the lower bullish band, we have a space in between, and the higher bullish band, we have a space in between. And we see for later that this also will be an area of interest, where we see that when you come to this line, so if the bullish band start to go downwards, we can easily move this red line to this area here, because you also see that this one is quite strong. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Ethereum is soon going away from mining, so we never know what exactly will happen when this occurs, if the price will shoot up or if will fall down. This we basically will never know. Let me see if I can find it here on the chart. Crypto. There. So we can see right now we are down in a very interesting area. This is a super strong support line that we see is currently holding. We see we had the test yesterday, and now we're going up from the test. So this is actually the first signal of the day. We take a trade here. We take a stop loss. Let's look to the left and see if we need to cover ourselves for this spike. So let's make a line from this spike. Let's make this one green and not so thick. Let's make it tiny, just so we see. So we are protecting ourselves if come a equal spike like this. So something like this, we take a 1.5 the trade. let's see. We move this a little. We want a little more profit. Let's see if we take this to 50. 80. There we have it. So then we take our entry here. This is Ethereum against dollar. Ethereum, USD. We take long trade. Enter at. Like I said, we can't trade Forex today because basically the market is closed. But the good thing is that cryptocurrency is always open. We take our stop loss level here and take profit. We take at this level. Like that. I will take this trade myself also. So this is what we call a swing trade. So again, the reason for this trade, you can see that when we come down to this white line we have here, you can see we came here, we got a fake out. We did secure the fake out with our stop loss. We are below the fake out. And we see that we came down here, we shoot up. We came down here, we shoot up. And we came down here and we shoot up. We could even take profit up to this level here. But I'm securing a little for what we see back here, that we are taking a take profit to an area where we easily can go up to. Sometimes it's always good to look to the past, that means to the left, and see which areas we reach many times. So here we have a stop loss that secure ourselves for this fake out you see here. So it's always nice when you see we come down, we got the retest here, and we start to go up. That's a very nice time to enter a trade for a long trade. Now let's see, I think we are getting close to our upper line. Let's change the bid to 100. Now it's not martingale, so if we come up to this red line up here, we are going to take a put trade. The reason for that trade is that we see the Bollinger Band is below, we have the space in between it. So if you come up here now, that's a strong trade, so no martingale trade. So let's now wait and see. Okay, need to be on this part because you see they are going upwards with the Bollinger Band. So if the this white Bollinger Band cross above our red resistance, that means the market is ready to break it. So now let's wait and see. So I need to be on this bar or the next. If not, it's a big chance this might cross above, and this red line up here, that is the resistance, is not valid more. So we are ready to push the put button here now. That will be the first big trade of the day. if the market want, of course, to go up here. So you see still it's valid. You see this upper bulge band is still, you have a space in between that one and this red resistance. That means we are still valid to go in with a put trade. So if you go to the left here now, you see, we maybe need to go a little, we see that this is an area where we come up to and we go down. That's why we have it there. But it's not written in stone that we will come up to this region. This is just our special zones, you can say, where we feel comfortable to go in with a higher amount. So what I typically do when I'm a little bored out to trade, I do some small martingale trades like you see I've done today, till I come to the areas of interest, because it's quite boring to sit and wait, and then it's a little fun to do something in between till I come to this region. Take some $1 trade, because typically you lose maximum like 4 trades in a row when you do martingale, if you just choose some specific areas. And then you can make some small money also while you're waiting till the area of interest. Now looks like we never came up to it, and that's completely okay, we don't need to. Sometimes it's better not to take a trade than taking a trade, because we need to be very, when we're going to go in with the bigger trades, we need to be very conservative to take the trades that is only there. Now we are ready. Now maybe we come up, this, let's see, we are getting very close. And we only take the trade as long as the bulge band is still keeping above it. We are still there. This one is still valid. We still have a space in between, but the space starts to be smaller. So I think we need to get it on this one for it to still be valid. I think on the next bar will not be valid more. And come on, little more. Almost. We need to have it to touch it, if not, we don't take it. Zooming in more so you see a little better. We still can take it. We don't see a line above the red line, so, but we see now that this is for sure the last bar. If we don't come up the red line now, we need to stop, then we will not get a trade. If we break below here now, we can rather go with a $1 trade, as it is more like a support area here also, you can see. But it's not a $100 trade. $100 trade is only on the red line. Looks like we are breaking to the downside. That is a $1 trade. Then you have a $1 trade. We're going downwards. We go in with that, because you see we did break below and we open a new bar, and then we typically go downwards. But it's not a $100 trade, because that is just for the red one and the green one. That's why I do these small trades in between, just so we have something fun to do. I think today we can also look at some other cryptocurrency. Also look for Ethereum against Bitcoin, because that's also one that is quite tradable in my eyes. If you lose, we go with one more. That's what I can say. Typically when we break below, the next bar is almost always the same color as the one we did go. So if it's a green, we break up, we always get green. when it's a red and we break below area, it's always red. So actually we could have gone in with a little stronger bid also, but we are conservative because we want to trade only these two areas of interest. Now let's see if there are any questions. You're welcome. The thing is that this small trading I do in between, like I said, is just so we have something to do while we wait till the specific area of interest. So now we can see that we have a short-term support here also. So if we break it, we can go in with a $1 trade again, or if it holds, we can go in with a $1 the other way around. So that's also one way we can trade. But I think we rather can take a look at Ethereum against Bitcoin. No, I think it is. Let's see. There. So here we can see that we have broken below. So here we, instead of looking for a long trade like we did see, here we can actually look at a short trade. Because if we take a line here now, we have broke below it on this bar here, and we got the retest, and then we will probably get a continuation downwards. So here we are taking a short trade. We take our stop loss. Above we see this over here, so we're securing against that one, and we take a 1.5 the trade. Let's see there, and we take yeah, that's good enough, we can take it there. So here we are taking a short trade. I will explain a little more after. So this is Ethereum against Bitcoin. We enter on this. We take our stop loss at this level you see here, and take profit. Here. So let me explain more. The reason for this trade, like I said, you see we have a strong resistance here. That is, every time we come down, we shoot up. But on this spot here, it's closed on the 1 day. That's even stronger. On the 1 day, we closed below this support line, and we open with a new bar where we retest and we go down, and that's a very strong indication that we are going down to this region here. That's the reason behind this trade. We did not even need to go to the 4-hour chart to take a look at it. Typically we like to have this a little thicker, but still you can see we closed it below it, and we got a retest, and we're going downwards. And here you can see the risk you have when if you open things on you have a pending position, because if you zoom in more, you can see here that we did actually go a little above our support line, but we did rather continue downwards. So it's a fake out. So never open a position on just the bars. You need to wait for confirmation, and confirmation is that you close below or above. Just wait a little. Okay, let's continue. So as you can see, I'm using a free version of TradingView. Now, back to this resistance line you see on the here. We can't use this more because you see already this Bollinger Band. Now you see a white line is crossing above it, and we can't take a trade on this one more now. So now we need to go to the left to choose the next area of interest, and that is up here. If you go back here now, we can zoom in. Here also, you can see when we touch this line, we go up, here, we go up, and here we go up. So we can clearly see that this one was a great support before, and if it was a great support before, it's a great resistance today. So that means we go back here, zoom a little out. Now the new area of interest to take a trade for a put trade is if you reach this one here. Now we can see we can move our green line actually to this one we had back here. So now we get a more something that have been a little more recently. So let's move it a little up there. Let's see now. Yes, this one is good. So now our area of interest is between these two lines here, and we are only taking a big trades if we come to this green, that's a call trade, and the red up here is a put trade. So now looks like we are closer actually for a bigger trade in the bottom. And we see that the probability is that we'll break this one is very slim, because you see we tested this one 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times and did not break it. So if we go down with a strong red bar here now, the probability is that we will win this trade. That's why we will take a $100 trade if we come down there. Another pair I like to look a little on when we talk about cryptocurrency is Tron. So you can take that also. That's TRX against let's do this, open again. Sometimes it becomes strange when we do this. There, now looks better. Let's change this for 4 hours. So we can see on the 4 hour that we are currently on our resistance, and it's a quite strong one also. So if we can break above, we can go for a long trade. We see then the next area of interest is around I will say here. So let's make that a white line. The white line will be the target line we're looking for. So if we break above this resistance, we will then go for a long trade. We set our stop loss just below. You see this spike is here. We put and we target the top. I think we need to move our stop loss a little because we need to be 1.5 the trade. So there, that's a trade we will look for if we can break above it. We will not look for the short trade right now because we can see that we are hammering up so many times here. So it's just a matter of time before we break up. So basically, right, like that, right away we close above here. We are going for a long trade up to this region here. Tron was very popular a few years back. Actually, I think we just need to go 1 year back. Was a lot of contracts, was super heavily promoted on YouTube and everything, and then suddenly just died off a little. But it's still a type of currency that I see some value in, because I only like to trade pairs that I see some value in, not just a coin that is basically have no use cases. So Tron is one of these type of coins that have some type of use cases, and I see some value in this coin. But like I said before, typically I only like to trade Bitcoin and Ethereum. But if I'm going to add one more like we do now, Tron is one of them. Now let's see if there are any questions. Nothing else there. So now let's see. We still are in this. When you see, we can't set our. We can't move this one down here just right, because we see this upper bulge band will be above it, so we need to have it up here. But we are getting close to the lower support line. We can also take Tron against Bitcoin. See if we have something there. Always good to change it a little in between. Here we can see we have a short-term trend upwards. Let's see if we can mark it a little better. So you see when we come to this area, we typically go up. Let's take it down to 1 hour. You can see that this is not something that I like to trade too much, because you see right now we are stagnating in a basically for basically almost for a couple of days we have been going flat in between a very tight space. So this is not something we can trade, and it's not something to even to consider to trade. So I think we skip that one. We can take a look at some of the trades we're going to look at for next week. Let's remove some of this mess first. So we are ready for Monday. We take to the 1 day first. Still need to remove some more mess here. So you see euro against dollar have been very moving up and down for a long time in this small region here, but we are still respecting the downward trend. So a good trade will be when we come up to this strong trend downwards. That now also means that we are below this white line you see here, and you see we are also respecting the bottom area. So we easily see that if you're going to take any trade for euro against dollar, we still need to take just short trade. So if we'll move that to 4 hour, if we come up to this line up here, we can easily take a short trade, because we can see in the 1 day that we have been in this trend basically for since, let me see, in a downward trend since 26th of May 2021 basically. Euro been downward in a downtrend. So I don't think that would change anytime soon. So a good short trade if it touched this trend line up here. Then we can target at least the bottom, the lowest low we have down here. So for euro against the dollar for Monday, we are going to look for if we can come up to this trend line and take a short trade. Hopefully we'll get some movement before our session, because we start the session in a time when some of the moves have been done, and hopefully we are up here so we can take a short trade. For GBP, we are currently in the lowest point. I think we need to go very far back in the history to see something so low. Actually not. We were down here back in March 2020. When we came down here last time, we did shoot up. Let's go back in history, see if something like that happened before also. No, not in. So probably the same thing can happen again, that we'll get a crazy trade up here now. And if we take a look on the trades we have done, we have won the trades. We did enter here. Let's take the one that you can see properly. We did enter with a trade here. We did take a nice short trade, and we did win it. So now currently I think, as we see on the weekly, that we had a strong support here now. I believe that we will have a strong trade up here now. So if this holds for the session in Monday, we might look for a long trade, because we are not in the trend more. We did break on the trend. We are just basically we are retesting the trend. If you see like that, you see we are the continuation of trend is exactly on this buy, and we did see it on a weekly chart. We have a support down here, so the probability is that we will shoot up from here. If we need to look to the left, look to the past, then you always get a clue for what will happen in the future also. Not always, but most of the time you get the same thing will happen over and over and over again. Then let's take a look at here. This we like very much. We see, let me see if I can mark it a little better on the 4 hours so we get it to look best way possible. So we are considering everything, I will say there, and we are still below it. So now we will see a change in USD GPY. We have now, for the first time for a very long time, you see since 11th of August we have been in an uptrend, and here for the first time we have made a break. And what I hope will happen before our session in Monday is that we break this white line that we see is also a support area. So if you break below this white line now, we will then look for a very lucrative short trade. We can look then into where we will take our take profit, but that can be done here and down here. We will see where is the strongest one on the daily, because I think we'll target a daily support. We can take a look also fast here now. So if we look here, we can see that a daily one is around here. So let's mark that one also with a white up here. So I think, let's go back to the 4 hour. So if we break this white line here, we can then remove this one. We can then take a super nice short trade. Right away we close with a 4 hour below this white line. We can take a take profit all the way down to this white line here. And the stop loss we can set just above these spikes here. and we have a ratio of 1 to 2.12, and that's good in my book, because we always need a ratio better than 1.5. If we don't have a 1.5, we don't take it. But this is a trade we can take any day of the week. Now let's see if we have some more questions. Yeah, we don't always, we have a, but as long as you're keeping the ratio correct, and we keep the take profit after the curve, following the rules where we are trading with the trend, and we have a win ratio a little better than we lose, and our ratio with take profit and stop loss are more than 1.5, even with a 50% win rate you're making money. But as we have a little better than 50, we are making good money. So that's basically that we don't need to win always. We still make money. Telegram channel, but I will not share it here because I don't feel that is correct, as I'm hired by RM Academy to make these sessions, and I don't want to bring people out of this platform. Basically, I will write that down here now. It's from Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. All is 18 to 19, so it's 1 hour, and it's +2. So then you have the possibility to see how it is compared with your timeline. So basically, it's 1 hour every day. I had a session this Friday, but I was not able to take it because the power here in Sao Paulo did go. That's why I have a session today. So typically, I don't have sessions in Saturdays. Gold is something we also can look at. Gold is very low in value right now. Let's see if we can get it a little nicer. So you see we are currently in a very strong downtrend with gold also. I find that very strange. Should think that these days when the economics is going so bad that gold should be strong, but as we see it's not. But like I said, we can't trade against trend, so we need to be waiting till we cross. Because I don't short gold, I can never short gold. It's a disadvantage I have. Gold, that everything, these type of things are long-term trending upwards. We can see that on the monthly in gold. If he let me. So if you look out here now, you can see that it's upwards trending. But I do not like what I see here now, because we can see that we have broken below our area that have been a strong support weekly. So now looks like gold even can go farther down. So if you have any open position on gold for a long, you should probably think about closing it, because we have broken below, and that means that gold can even go down to even lower areas. And the next strong support is basically all the way down here. So I would be very scared if I had an open trade long with gold right now. Yes, that's true. So we are done for today. See you all Monday.